This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi. Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Too many Canadians on tonight, just so you know. We had a 17-year-old YouTube host who talks about trends for us once a week. Far more articulate than you or me combined. Something to worry about, Dave Scott?
Well, I think a 17-year-old is probably smarter than us when it comes to technology, that's for sure.
Do you have a cold?
No, I've just been running around all in the forest looking for Bigfoot all weekend, so a little haggard. Has
it been cold in the forest?
No, it's actually been quite warm. We got hit by a rainstorm yesterday for about 10, 15 minutes, but otherwise it's been pretty good.
Dave Scott spends time in the forest looking for Sasquatch, Bigfoot, laying traps, putting out cameras, doing everything he can to prove that these do or do not exist. How did it go this weekend, Dave Scott?
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, remember last week I told you about how we ended up finding a copper chain, like bracelet chain, and a dime at our gifting site at the tree?
Yes.
I will get to UFO news here in a minute, but I wanted to tell you this. Well, I went through all of the videos captured on my trail cameras. And here's the interesting thing about it. On June 7th, there is nothing on the tree that we can see. It was not there. Because my trail cam has dates on it and timestamps on it.
Right.
But sometime between June 7th, when the last video fired, and June 8th, when we could actually see daytime came along and the video triggered due to a rabbit, the bracelet was there on June 8th.
Now,
so something on between the night of June 7th and the morning of June 8th put that bracelet there. And if something like a human or something would have moved in front of the camera, it would have triggered the camera's night vision. That did not happen.
So what does this mean?
What it means is I don't know how the heck a bracelet and a Canadian dime ended up at our gifting site that we have for our Sasquatch in between about a 16-hour time span. There was no video. There was nothing that triggered our trail cameras at the gifting site, which is our trail cameras are only about 15 feet away from the gifting site tree. And it just doesn't make sense. It's like they just appeared out of nowhere. And we can't figure out this little mystery.
Are you scared?
No, I'm absolutely fascinated by it. Because, I mean, look, one thing when you deal with the paranormal and supernatural, Walter, is things seem to manifest at times. You don't have to ask for it. Things will just show up. Now, if you believe in Sasquatch as some sort of ethereal type being that can come in and out of what's the word I'm looking for? You know, like one day they're physical and the next day they're something else. A lot of indigenous First Nations people believe that Sasquatch is actually like a shapeshifter, where it could come in and out of dimensions or whatever. It sounds a little far-fetched, but if that is the case, was it one of them or maybe one of the spirits from the Flight 21 crash site that we attend that actually came there and made the bracelet and dime appear on the gifting tree. This is where I get a little confused sometimes with what I deal with, because you try and be pragmatic about everything, but sometimes pragmatism just doesn't work.
Why do you think he's there?
That is actually a great question, because I actually had a cryptid researcher named Jessica Jones on my show on Friday night. We call her the Cryptid Huntress. And one of the things that she has noticed is that Bigfoot and Dogman, which is like a werewolf, tend to hang out at times at either places of tragedy or places where there are known burial grounds and or cemeteries. We can't seem to figure out this reasoning. However, with the tragedy of Flight 21, which on July 8th, 1965, a plane blew up in the sky and crashed there. It is still Canada's largest unsolved mass murder. 52 people died on that DC-6 airplane from Canadian Pacific Airways. And it makes me wonder if maybe the Sasquatch are protecting the spirits that are there and still lurking through the forest. Maybe they're a little lost. They don't know where to go. They can't figure out why they're there. That is one theory that I actually have.
Got it. All right. I hope you get a real picture of Sasquatch soon.
I hope so. We're trying really hard.
You are trying really hard. At what point do you give up?
You don't.
All right.
Number one, Walter. It's really fun. Okay, but number two, you cannot control how the phenomena is going to act or react, or if and when it's going to give you information. Like, we were out there last night, we barely got anything. It was kind of boring. But we've been there at times where all of a sudden there's a bunch of excitement. You hear things moving through the trees. You end up having footprints all over the ground where you can actually see the indentations of a heel and toes. You know, you see things moving, and then you do a double check, and there's nothing there. So you never know what you're going to get. It may be the same location every time we go, but on the flip side, every time we are there, something different happens. Understood.
Dave Scott, host of Spaced Out Radio. Every show he's ever done is on YouTube, Spaced Out Radio. And now your UFO report, Dave. Anything new?
Yeah, the Liberation Times and their journalist, gentleman by the name of Christopher Sharp, has a great story out at liberationtimes.com that has absolutely fascinated me, Walter. And I'm bringing this up because I know it'll fascinate you.
Sure.
Why? Because it deals with aliens on the moon.
Aliens on the moon, yes.
So a name you're going to roll your eyes over is a gentleman who used to run the UFO program called ATIP at the Pentagon. His name's Luis Elizondo.
Yes.
He came out in an interview with the Liberation Times saying that he believes the moon is or was perhaps a particular interest by non-human intelligence, and that there may even be bases on the moon, and that many humans actually know about it. Now, a lot of people for decades have wondered whether or not there are alien bases on the dark side of the moon. It has always been a mystery that is going on, and it has existed ever since we got into the space age. You know, there have been rumors that Apollo astronauts, when they flew around the moon, saw something on the other side, because it's not really dark. It's just, you know, because the sun does shine on it at times when it, in certain rotations. I may have that wrong, but there is light apparently on the moon on the backside. So the fact that they are actually seeing things or potentially seeing things, have verbally reported on it, but it's really not gone public. NASA has kept it and repeatedly denied this potential evidence. But Elizondo comes out and says, look, we know about it. We've seen it. Okay, we've seen things happen. And where this gets even more interesting, Walter, is with the first three tranches of UFO files that have been released, I have focused heavily on the NASA side of everything, because for years, NASA was denying that they had ever had anything to do with aliens, that they had never found anything. They even did a study a couple of years ago, paying their favorite friendly scientists about $100,000 to conduct a study that said, no, NASA doesn't have anything to do with aliens, and yet this tranche that we have tells different. So this opens up a real conspiracy theory that there are actually alien bases on the moon, that they're actually traveling from the moon to Earth to study, visit, maybe even play a game of bingo, I don't know, to hang out with humans and study us, and this is how they're taking us. And a lot of people who've been abducted also claim, to turn it up weirder, that they have either A, flown past the moon or landed on the moon with the craft that they were taken on. So it opens up this big can of worms, and once again, NASA is in the middle.
You have very little respect for NASA, is that right?
I have a lot of respect for NASA and the brilliant people that are there. I just wish that they would stop lying to the American public that there are no UFOs, that there are no aliens, that their astronauts have never seen anything, when indeed it's proven that they have.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of respect for them.
I guess not.
No. And I had a lot of respect for them until the first time I asked a former NASA employee, why haven't we gone back? This was 5 years ago. And the answer was because they lost the plans. Like, what do you mean they lost? Well, yes, a lot of scientists took the plans home. A lot of it was thrown away. The video was lost. I'm like, what? Record keeping, if I was NASA, I would figure record keeping would be a key skill. Wouldn't you, Dave? Well,
you would think that in this historic movement, whether it was for science or for politics, that they just wouldn't say, okay, mission's done, that's a wrap. It's not like a movie set where they just tear everything down. You'd think that they would keep it going and keep it for historic purposes.
Or just to show the grandkids.
Right.
Dave Scott, where do we find you online?
spacedoutradio.com. You can also download every show I have for free on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, or please do me a favor, head on over to our YouTube channel, Spaced Out Radio, hit subscribe and ring the bell.
Dave Scott, thank you for being on the other side of midnight with Walter Sterling.
Thanks for listening to The Other Side of Midnight with Walter Sterling. You can listen to The Other Side of Midnight Monday through Friday from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?